victims. Don't be melodramatic. Look down there. Would you really feel any pity if one of those dots stopped moving forever? If I offered you 20,000 pounds for every dot that stopped, would you really, old man, tell me to keep my money? Or would you calculate how many dots you could afford to spend? Free of income tax, only. Free of income tax. The only way you can save money nowadays.
A lot of good your money will do you in jail.
That jail's in another zone. There's no proof against me. Besides you.
I should be pretty easy to get rid of.
Pretty easy.
Wouldn't be too sure.
I carry a gun. Don't think they'd look for a bullet wound after you hit that ground.
Dug up your coffin.
Confound Harbor? Pity. Holly, what fools we are talking to each other this way, as though I'd do anything to you. Or you to me. You're just a little mixed up about things in general. Nobody thinks in terms of human beings. Governments don't. Why should we? They talk about the people and the proletariat. I talk about the suckers and the mugs. It's the same thing. They have their 5-year plans. So have I.
You used to believe in God.
Well, I still do believe in God, only. I believe in God and mercy and all that, but the dead are happier dead. They don't miss much here, poor devils. What do you believe in? Oh, if you ever get Anna out of this mess, be kind to her. I think you'll find she's worth it. I wish I'd asked you to bring me some of these tablets from home. Holly, I'd like to cut you in, old man. There's nobody left in Vienna I can really trust, and we've always done everything together. When you make up your mind, send me a message. I'll meet you any place, any time, and when we do meet, old man, it's you I want to see, not the police. Remember that, won't you? Don't be so gloomy. After all, it's not that awful. Well, what the fella said. In Italy, for 30 years under the Borgias, they had warfare, terror, murder, and bloodshed, but they produced Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Renaissance. In Switzerland, they had brotherly love. They had 500 years of democracy and peace, and what did that produce? The cuckoo clock. So long, Holly.
Is Mr. Martins engaged on a new book?
Yes. It's a murder story. It's based on fact. It's called The Third Man. Heard of Harry Lime?
Best friend I ever had.
So you're going to find me the real criminal. Sounds like one of your stories.
You're wrong about Harry. You're wrong about everything.
You never should have gone to the police, you know.
Come out, whoever you are.
Okay, let's go.
Finally!
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Lorenzo, and Marcus is not here this week. He had work to do, so I'm going solo. But nonetheless, this is brought to you, as it is every week, by the Alternative City Shop. I not only love reading indie comics, but I've self-published several indie comics of my own. You can find them on my Alternative City Shop, which has a link below this video. There, you'll find, along with my comics, t-shirts, stickers, and now you can pick up digital comics, including Ninja Bunny Assassin #1 and #2, which are both out of print. You find pins and magnets that are called CBOs, or comic book originals, which are buttons, magnets, and pocket mirrors that I make from superhero comic books. Yep, that's right. We're not sponsored. Only thing we make money from is, I don't know, stuff folks happen to buy at the Alternative City Shop. If you're a film aficionado, you might be familiar with that clip, and that was a couple of clips actually, the trailer and the clip from The Third Man, one of the best works, I should say, of Orson Welles. Some people think that Citizen Kane was his greatest movie, but I think that The Third Man is pretty much my favorite. So I picked that one. And I picked that because we have a new addition to our family, and we have a new guy that we are calling Orson. No, you can't see him right there. The mic's in the way. There he is. Hey, Orson. Say hi. He's taking a nap. But he's new, and he's our little boy. So in honor of the great Orson Welles, we have a cat by that name. Before we I'm going to shout out the chat who was here first, and we're going to talk about some things. First, we got 80s Guy. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Nice cocktail there. And here's our guy, Phil. What's happening, Phil? Good to see you. The lovely Janet, as always. She was mesmerized by the amazing clip that I showed. And of course, Larry Love, the DJ that we all love, and the Tea Time movie, playing The Quiet Storm. Hello, Larry. How are you, sir? And that's all we got so far, I want to say. So let's go and jump right into it. Marcus is not here this week, and I got some stuff to say about the direction of this little Wednesday thing that we're doing, and what we're going to be doing in the future. Marcus has been with us like some big fucking corporation. Marcus has been doing the Wednesday show with me since February 2nd, 2022, I want to say. So it's the better part of 3.5 years, and man, we had great chemistry together. I mean, Marcus is a great guy. I love him like a son. And I just decided to shake things up a little bit, starting like in a couple of weeks, because after this show, I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks off. I just realized I had not taken any time off since, I think, May of last year. And so I need to take a couple of weeks off for mental health purposes. So after we come back, 2 weeks, probably the early part of not the first. It's a Wednesday. The first is a first. Or the first is a Wednesday, I should say. Probably Wednesday the 1st. Don't quote me on that. Stuff could happen. So I'm planning on coming back on the 4th. When the show does come back, plan on having a rotating list of co-hosts, and that's just I just thought that I was looking at the show. Maybe some of y'all noticed it too, but it's no one's fault. Something need to be shaken up a little bit. And I think a little bit of just change is sometimes good. And, Marcus, like I said, is great. He has a great demeanor. He's a smart guy, and he's done so much for this stream. And he's a good dude. But I just want to just do something different and see what happens with that. I mean, not saying we'll never work together in the future. That's totally up to him. If he wants to do it, I'm totally down with it. But for right now, I just want to do some different things and maybe go in a different direction. So we'll see what happens with the show. And last week we were talking about, at least I touched on the reason I'm not doing more art and stuff like that, and my struggles, as I had mentioned before, like with my mental health and motivation and things like that. So I'm going to just try to nurture that and somehow, just work the art into the show. If not, maybe make it this show a little different and make another show. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have a couple of weeks to think about it. And when we come back, then, then we'll deal with of whatever this little monstrosity that we have here on every Wednesday is called. So me and Janet and Orson and Boo Boo Kitty and Izzy and all of us are going to just kick it for a while and enjoy what's left of this, what some might call Indian summer. That's a derogatory term in some cases, but you know what I'm talking about. Just going to have a little more fun and take some time off. I always thought that if I ever worked for myself, I would never take any time off. Janet knows this too. And that's not really a good thing because, why take time off? You love your job, right? Now, well, a job's still a job. If you don't get paid for it, it's still a job. So it's going to need some time to just, sort things out. Absolutely, Larry. Absolutely. Yeah, I know you do. I know, right? And I know some other creators out there who've done the exact same thing. Marcus is really taking time off. He's thinking his thing with the FOC and Chill. The FOC and Chill crowd is in mourning because he hasn't been doing his thing lately. So you do it. Man, I can name a bunch of folks who've done it. You've done it for a short time, for a long time. You just have to do it sometimes, and just rethink about what am I doing? What do I want to do with this? And so forth. So that's the name of that tune, as Beretta used to say. So that's what's happening, just to be 100% transparent with you. You folks out there, I always pride myself on being 100% real and just telling it like it is. And I would be remiss if I didn't keep it that way when I'm talking about myself. So that's what's happening. And that's that. And so I think whatever happens going forward, I love all you guys, and man, I love what this has become. It's just like a meetup with my friends every Wednesday, and we talk about comic books and other stuff. So that's going to continue as long as the creek don't rise, let's say. So, or until YT decides to just knock me off for playing too many copyrighted clips, but hopefully that will not happen. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that out of the way, we can get right into what's happening because, hey, it's just me. So I've got some stuff from the comic shop. Over that real quick. Last week's penultimate book was Murder Podcast. And here it is. I had a chance to thumb through it. It looks very interesting. Love the concept. Going to see what it's about. Check it out. I've only got one book for what's good this week. And that's kind of, last week I could barely scrounge maybe one. I think Marcus had one. I've had a lot of books I've been kind of like, okay, it was all right, but it wasn't like, oh, wow, this is good, Survival. This is a bad idea joint. They've had some good stuff. I've got 3 bad idea books in this week's haul from the comic shop, from the LCS, I should say. And also I've got stuff from mycomicshop.com. So Survive is about the submarine that has been sabotaged, and there's 2 men on it. One's an enemy spy, and what happens between these 2 guys in their fight for survival. Powers is back. Phil, I know you were interested in this last week. I should have took a look at it, but I blame myself for that one. Powers 25 is what this is called. 25 years since Powers. It's hard to believe it. Hard to believe it's been 25 years. I mean, I remember 2020, I guess, when it came out, and Brian Bendis was this guy. I remember seeing him at a show, and he was just at this table by himself. It was like, wow, why are you by yourself, dude? I mean, people should be here. You're a great creator. And he signed some books from me. I bought a thing from him, and it's been 25 years since this came out, and this was kind of revolutionary in my way of thinking. And when it first came out in the volume 1 under the Image label. So now he's with Dark Horse. He's been with Marvel. He's had his own imprint. And wait to see what's up with this. Frank at the shop, he had good things to say about this. So I'm looking forward to it. Another bad idea book is The Hero Trade. This is the Chimera project. There's this trade of the first hero trade that I want to read too. I saw it at the shop today. I'm probably going to get that. It's pretty gruesome stuff. It was really, really more even whacked out than this. This hero trade Chimera project is in black and white. It's a really thick book too. Really great story. Absolute Batman number 12. So this is the Killer Croc A cover of the Absolute Killer Croc. There's another Phil. How you doing, sir? Phil Alling. I think that's your last name, or how I pronounce your last name. Please forgive me if I didn't make it right. Yeah, Image, Dark Horse, Marvel, and DC. Yeah. Yeah, and under the Marvel label, he had his own, I forget what the name of that imprint was, but they wanted him to be exclusive. So he said, but I got content, you know. Well, guys got to give me my own thing if you want me to come over and be exclusive with you. And lucky enough, he got it. What's happening, Mike DeBradley? Hey, another indie guy. Icon, thank you. That was the name of it, Phil. As an encyclopedia. This is the second issue of Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. This is a variant cover. Not the A cover by the Martin Morazzo, I want to say, who does the art on that series. One of the guys from Ice Cream Man. And the second issue of Cul-de-sac, the third Bad Idea book that I pulled this week. This may be a record for Bad Idea books in 1 week. And there's some more coming out soon that I'm pretty excited about too. So Bad Idea may have gotten it together finally. So what stuff did I get from my comic shop? My bi-weekly haul from my comic shop was pretty big. No, it wasn't that big. I've cut down a lot, but it's still fairly sizable. Probably about 15 books maybe. Drop on the pile of the thousands that I already have. So, Doctor Strange, A Fall Sunrise, number 1. This is the B cover by Daniel Warren Johnson. And this was surprising. This is a really good series, surprisingly. And this book was only like less than $3. It's pretty surprising too. I had to pick it up with a DWJ cover. This is a comic that I think I'm going to enjoy. I hope. I like a lot of things that Bliss on Tap has made in the past. This is called 6 Shots. Who would you send to hell for a shot at revenge? I could not find this at the local comic shops either, so I'm glad I pre-ordered it. Oh, wow. Phil, I mean, you are my hero in so many ways. 2 comics a month? Oh, man, I could save so much money. This is Masterminds, which I actually read. I may talk about that in the What's Good things. It's not really a great thing, but it was all right. If I had like a segment called What's All Right, it would probably definitely be in the top of that. Masterminds 1 in 10. And this is the Bjorn Barons cover. It looks a little bit not so Bjorn Barons-y. This stuff usually looks very like that modeling software kind of a thing, but this looks a little bit less like that. That was like, I think, regular cover price for 1 in 10. Everything Dead and Dying. I think this came out last week. It's usually stuff that I get shipped, I guess, like a week late from my comic shop. That's not loving the camera there. But Everything Dead and Dying by, this is Nate Bromble, I want to say, and Jason Phillips is the artist on here. It's milking the zombie cow, which is pretty awesome. Zombie cow milk. Oh, this is the book that made the top of the list. And what's good is they chose violence. I had to order numbers 1 and 2 from my comic shop because I could not find those issues with the local comic shops. I mean, we'll talk about it more later, but this is a surprise for me. This really surprised me. They chose Violence from AWA. Minor Arcana number 10. This is the 1 in 20 cover. Like around, I think, $6-7 when I picked it up. Love this. Gosh, I forget the name of the artist. I don't want to mess her name up. I'm going to do it. She's awesome. This is the number 2 of Speed Racer with the retro Racer X look. This old car on there. The new Racer X book came out this week, and it's got an awesome cover. It's not. It has a Alex Ross like cover, but it's not Alex Ross doing it. But I forget who the artist is on that. The Amazing Spider-Man number 11, volume whatever. This is my guilty pleasure. My Spider-Man covers. Don't really read them anymore, but I'm a sucker for Spider-Man covers. He was one of my first superheroes at Marvel, and I'll still buy the covers for him. And there it is. Sentimental value. And the Miles Morales Spider-Man number 37. This is the White Cat, I want to say, 1 in 10, and this was like cover price, so I couldn't pass that one up either. Anytime it was a 1 in 10 for regular price, gotta have it. This is Star Wars number 10. What volume that is, but you know Marvel. The Legacy of Vader, and the Knights of Ren are making a comeback, and this is the first appearance of that character. God, I had the name written down, but I totally spaced on it. I don't say Shiloh Ren. That's probably wrong as hell, but she's one of the Rens. She's out there to kill the other guy, the other Ren. That was maybe MC Ren from Public Enemy, or from NWA. Finally getting these. I'm winding down on these things. I'm not going to keep buying them. I got 2 more coming from my comic shop, and that's it. They keep trickling out, and a lot of them are on like $7 books and stuff. I'm only buying right now the ones I really like. This one is the Disco Dazzler. It was only like I think $2.59 with the discount or whatever. The Disco Dazzler, complete with the disco ball amulet and the Farrah Fawcett hairdo, done by the great Alex Ross. There's Havoc, which reminds me a lot of. I'm sure he uses models, or he uses maybe. I know for a fact he's talked about using models for his characters. This one looks like a celebrity that I can't quite place, an actor. Plus, perhaps a British fellow as Havoc. It's pretty cool. And coming on down is Cloak, which looks a lot like Samuel L. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So this is it. This is this is very cool too. I'm sure Dagger is somewhere on one of them, maybe coming up later. The last one from my comic shop. Gosh, this one, I don't even remember the name of the character. I think it's Firestorm, I think. So yeah, this is but it looks so cool. I had to have this one too. Alex Ross can really do those timeless covers, and they look great. Except because Marvel uses such like shitty paper, you can actually see the ads, on the through the white of the cover, which is like a shame. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Marvel, they can make everything cardstock if they wanted to, but why would they do that when they don't have to? All right, Sunfire, what's up, my friend? Good to see you there, Damien. Sunfire. Did I say Starfire? I said something fire. Firestorm. I don't know. Shitstorm. Michael Berry. He does post videos of him using models. Okay. Thank you, sir. And greetings to you. Yeah, because he's, I don't have to tell you how good he is. He's an amazing man. All right, so that's a tarot variant. They actually have real tarot variants for those minor arcana books, and I had the first 5 of them, I want to say, and now they become a lot harder to get. I've had trouble getting the ones after number 5. So that one is not actually a tarot variant; it's a different variant. But I know what you're talking about. The tarot variants are very nice too. They all have different characters from the series represented in the tarot. All right, so as Phil says, I had a complete set of the Ross 1 and 100. Oh my God. Sketch variants. See my channel. They sold for, doesn't that suck? So underappreciated. Maybe like, 20 years from now, these would be like the most coolest thing, like people will be collecting them, like, because they're so hard to find. Because nobody appreciated them when they were around and cheap to get. All right, so we might as well just move right on into what's good. No sense in farting around. Only got a little bit of stuff to talk about anyways. Oh, here is what's good. Okay, so you mentioned what's good. Only having a book to talk about or two. Okay, I might as well just sideswipe masterminds, not mimes, not Marceau. This is a book that was if it was 2 weeks ago, probably it was the penultimate book then, and it sounds like a really great concept. This is written by Zach Kaplan, illustrated by Stephen Thompson, colored by Diago Roca, and lettered by the great Hassan Asmani Allahu. Oh man, this is from Dark Horse Comics, and this is a tale of this young, is he a programmer or a coder? Is that a difference or a distinction between that? You can tell I'm not don't have my finger on the pulse of what's going on with the coding world. But he's a young man that works in the computer world, and he's building games. He's always wanted to be a programmer and create his own games. He had this tragic childhood where his mom just died. Oh, they say what happened to his dad, but like fuck him. His mom died, and he was all distraught about that. And he kind of got into fights a lot. He's a little guy, and he got his ass kicked a lot. So he's kind of seems to be kind of a loudmouth. Got to spouse off a lot. So once he becomes this valued, he gets his job as a programmer. He's disappointed because, it wasn't all he thought it was going to be. You imagine it being glamorous. He'd already come up with this game that he created himself called Birds. And he thought that he had the flight pattern just so perfect. And people are just going to love this. They're going to love it because it's great. I made it. It's my thing, my baby. And he's sitting in a room with like a zillion other gamers, the corporate monster has us all sitting in these little cubicles and everything. And people just plugging away. And then the slave driving supervisors coming, come on, people, work harder. You're going to fucking eat dinner here if you don't work faster. We got to get this thing out. Come hell or high water. So it's just like, it's not at all what you imagine it would be. And he gets a call from one of his friends, this girl who says like, hey, I can get you into this event with this guy who's the head of his big corporation. And he's made stars out of programmers before. He's just, it's like in the old days when you show up at a malt shop and get picked by some big producer and be in a movie. That kind of a concept. Young folks, you got to Google that kind of thing. That doesn't happen anymore. So he's like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. These people are not going to, let me leave though. So he offers his coworker $100. He's like, okay, just cover for me and I'll be back. And just, this is my big break. So, just be cool. Just cover for me and I'll be fine. So he gets to the event. The girl says like, oh, hey, I got you in. I thought you were never going to get here. And he's like, okay, well, where's the dude? Oh, well, he's up there. He's like in the, they were in the cheap seats on the yacht. Like there was a yacht, right? They're like in the main floor of the yacht, and the big time exec guy is like up in the poop deck. I don't know, I'm just making up shit, but he was like in a different part of the yacht, right? So he grabs a tray and puts his iPad on the tray and grabs an apron, pretends like he's a waiter, and goes up to meet the guy. He's gonna, hey, I'm gonna just wow this guy with my fucking program, right? So he goes up there, pretends to be a waiter, runs into the dude, and the dude is like, you know what? I'm trying to chill right now. I'm not trying to hear any pitches from people like that. This is not the time. So he's just distraught and is like, fuck, this is my big chance, my only chance to, to get my game published. He runs into another one of his associates, I guess, at a party later on. He was a total dick to this guy. The guy's trying to tell him how he's doing like some kind of like, I guess, he's like taking clips from TikTok and using AI and doing this and that. And he was like, I don't give a shit about that. That's minor indie stuff. Who gives a shit? I'm for the big time. I'm gonna who cares about your stuff? He's like, dude, what's wrong with you? And he walks away. Then he runs into his friend from the yacht again. And she's like, okay, I got a VIP ticket to this thing. I got a few minutes to talk to you, so entertain me. And then there's this, as they're on that patio at the party where he's at, there's this pattern on this building across the street. And it turns out that is a game. It's a puzzle. And if you can solve that puzzle, then you get to meet up with the secret organization. What are they called? They're called the masterminds. It's like the book says. They're called the masterminds. And the masterminds are like the shit. There's like a kind of a secretive organization that they just if you get in with them, it's like being with the Illuminati. So he's like, okay. And he's like, oh, that's easy. I just did using the Fibonacci sequence and blah, blah, blah. And all this. He's like, what are you talking about? And he solves it and he calls it in, and they tell the voice on the phone tells him, like, come to this address. You've won an audition. So he goes to the address, and then there's another puzzle there for him. And he gives his answer to that puzzle, and they just disappear. It's like, there was no people there, just like these AI robots were there. And the AI robots just kind of like shut off and went silent. So he thought like, well, I guess I didn't win. Goes home, comes back to work, and he's met by his coworker who's leaving the building saying like, you son of a bitch, you got me fired. Well, what did I do? Sorry, I gave you $100. You gonna pay my rent now? And then they go back upstairs to where their office is, and everyone's been murdered. Everyone's been murdered. It's just like, what's happening? And there's like a bunch of lasers come out of nowhere, and this robotic voice says, okay, well, here's your initiation. Solve this puzzle by getting to all the computers have been placed on this scaffolding outside of their window, and he had to cross all the dead bodies and all the lasers without touching a laser to get those computers. And that was his initiation. That's where the book ends. Maybe I give away too much about that. I'm sorry if I did, but now that I think about it, it was pretty good. Okay, so it does deserve to be on What's Good. I take it all back, Masterminds. So the guy kind of rubbed me the wrong way. The programmer guy, you seem like kind of a dick, but that's just that's a lot of people are like a bunch of sociopaths and shit. So, but other than that, yeah, it's I think it's worth another look too. I think it's maybe a 4 or 5 issue series. Doesn't say right here, but so far, yeah, I like it. I mean, there was some instances where I couldn't tell who was saying what. There was like the balloons pointed to like this little tiny, like in that second, which one? Was it this one here? I couldn't tell who was saying what, but okay, just probably being picky about saying that kind of thing. But other than that, it was a pretty good book. So yeah, Masterminds is worth a read from Dark Horse Comics, and it was a penultimate book. So it's like another penultimate book is worth its salt. There you go. Now, hey, some other folks in the chat here must have checked in. Is there, honey? Oh, because of the no, I'm good, sweetie. No, I'm all right. I'm all right. I just haven't taken a sip. And there's Space Case. What's happening, Space Case? Good to see you. The book that I'm really more excited about this week, the only book other than Masterminds. Should have been a third book. 3 is a magic number. I like to always have 3 books for what's good, but maybe next time. This is They Chose Violence #1. I think number 4 is on the way out now. I picked up number 3 at one of the shops a few weeks ago. So I think this is almost coming to an end. It's like a 5-issue series. It says so right here, a 5-issue series. They Chose Violence from AWA. This is written by Sheldon Allen, illustrated by Mauricio Campatella, colored by Danielle Comaniccio, and lettered by Matt Bowers, and covered by Raza. This A cover here is a Raza cover. So you look at it, it's pretty pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. I have a little bit of a show and tell for that one too. So I will run that right now. If I can get this mouse to work. Anywho, as I was saying, the mice hate me, and also everything else hates me too. So here's the video for They Chose Violence. All right. If this story follows 3 women, Lanika, Deidre, and Karen. They're 3 Black HBCU friends that turn into accomplished professionals, and they band together to form a vigilante squad that targets white supremacists deemed to have circumvented the justice system and gotten away with potentially gotten away with murder. Serving up grisly justice in increasingly creative ways, the vigilante posse becomes cult heroes and front page news, all while staying one step ahead of the law. It's effective, it's cathartic, it's kind of fun, until they are forced to confront the consequences of their actions. A copycat killer whose signature contains a special message to them, and the line between hero and villain begins to blur. Now, I was not familiar at all with the person that wrote this, with Sheldon Allen's work. But the more I find out, it just seems like a really great idea. In the beginning of the book, Axel Alonso, who was formerly, I think, editor-in-chief over at Marvel, right now he's the head guy over at AWA. He talks about how he got such pushback from like both sides of the aisle, from conservatives and liberals alike, for the work he did over there on the truth in black, white, and red, I should say, that story, the Captain America story, and also from his hip hop covers. He was a guy that was behind the hip hop covers for Spider-Man and Black Panther and stuff like that. So they said that the truth would ruin the legacy of a beloved character of Captain America, and that he was appropriating culture by using the hip hop covers. So you just can't win. You just can't fucking win no matter who you go, whoever you deal with. And the author himself talks about, that was part of what I read in the beginning, was what his beliefs were, that, this book is not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. In the first issue, you can see that the young lady, he's talking about her first kisses and her first heartbreak and eventually her first murder. They just reached a breaking point where they see all these Trayvon Martin things, these unarmed Black young men getting shot. And it's, I think one of them was a cop. One of them changed her major and became a lawyer so she could work within the system. And I don't think they mentioned what the other person does. Maybe she's just like I don't know, maybe she's a kept woman or something. I don't know, because she talked about, one of them made a crack about her sugar daddies. So I don't know what she does, but they decided to get this thing together where they're just going to become vigilantes. They trained, they hardened themselves, and they end up, killing cops, and they end up doing some pretty brutal shit. But like it says in the description there, of course, something's going to go wrong. This shit often does. The violence comes back to bite you unexpectedly, even if you consider yourself to be in the right. So, man, this is something I think a lot of people have apparently bought this, but I think a lot of people have kind of like avoided it as well. It's not something I want to get into because the author says, he wrote this. One of the reasons he wrote it is to make people feel uncomfortable. You need to feel uncomfortable sometimes. If everything's like, hey, it's not my problem, I never get problem from the police, and I've been shot. Nobody I know has been shot. It's not a big deal. But when it impacts you, then it is a big deal. So that's it. This is something that I think he's going to wait. It could be controversial. I'm sure it will be. There's going to be some things in it. I'll bet that the reason this hasn't received more attention is because of its uncomfortable nature and the subject matter and all that. Because usually in comic books, you tune in to tune out. You want to get this fantasy world, and you want to just like leave all this shit behind. The tariffs and the violence and the dumb shit across the ocean, and the idiot next door, whatever. So reality is too much. But sometimes it's good to take a step back into something that's real, but it could be this or it could be that. I think the fantasy thing. I like to go and visit the fantasy world, but I keep a foot in the real world. I don't want to become detached. But I totally get people that's I don't want to hear any news in my comics. I don't want to hear any of this and that. Okay, I hear you. But some of us, don't have a choice. So so that's what I think that this author has in mind when he says that you need to be a little uncomfortable. You need to just see a little bit of this and experience what life is like through my eyes. So, man, right on. With Sheldon Allen, I'll be here I will get this series. I wish I had not fallen behind, and I'm catching up on it now. They chose violence. I heard someone say this is the blackest comic book out there. It could be, but it's not just for black folks. But it's a very well-written book. It's not just violence for violence sake. I would advise you to check it out if you want to wait for the trade. AWA may make one. The smaller companies sometimes are late making trades because the books are kind of hard to come by. Some of the books are. I don't even know if my comic shop still has any more copies, but I was lucky to finally get some and catch up on it. So that's it for What's Good. Thank you and good night. And we can move on now to the previews of next week's comics. Next week's comics coming right up. All right. So, let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, I'm way down the line. Way ahead of myself here. Here we go. This is 17th. Ultimate. I don't know if that's going to keep going. Absolute Flash. Did pull that in the beginning. Wait a minute. Batman. Is that the Batman Deadpool crossover here? A quick look at that. Two big franchises from the big two. The crossover you've pinned? Oh, I'm sorry. The crossover you pined for, but never thought possible. Deadpool and Batman, cross swords and batarangs as Marvel and DC unite for the first time, together again for the first time in decades. Wade Wilson has been hired for a job in Gotham City, but will the world's greatest detective help him or destroy him? The main story starring Deadpool and Batman will be written by Zeb Wells and drawn by industry superstar Greg Capullo. Oh, all right. The one-shot, okay, will also feature additional backup stories spotlighting other exciting Marvel and DC team-ups from a lineup of all-star talent, including Daredevil and Green Arrow by Kevin Smith and Adam Kubert. Captain America and Wonder Woman by Chip Zdarsky and Terry Dodson. And Jeff the Landshark. How could you leave him out? He's just a money machine, Jeff the Landshark. And Crypto by Kelly Thompson and Guri Hero I think that's how that's pronounced. Let's say 64-page book, $6.99. The main cover itself, I'm guessing it's a Capullo cover. The great Greg Capullo, I should say. Yeah. I remember when Deadpool's still a popular character, but I remember going to a con like about 7, 8 years ago, maybe a little longer, where it's like everybody there was dressed like Deadpool. It was like it's just the Spider-Man meme. Everybody is Deadpool though. There's a DWJ. Daniel Warren Johnson. Oh yeah, oh my God, this is that's some shit. That's a big Barda and the Thing. Yes, please. I almost want to get it just for that cover alone. DWJ. Greg Capullo. Wraparound. Oh, of course. And of course, for the kids, the Crypto and Jeff the Land Shark. Gotta love those lovable kids. Those lovable land Clarks. Said Phil. I'm still reeling from the lasting effects of the last Marvel DC crossover event. Oh God, what was that? I remember the Spawn Batman event, but I don't remember the last, because it was a big deal when they first did it. I think with Spider-Man and Superman first. It might have been. That was groundbreaking. Because back then they did not fuck around. They was like, you with us or against us. There was no collaboration. This has got to be J. Scott Campbell. J. Scott Campbell. It's a regular trade dress variant. Yeah, Psylocke and is it Huntress? Yep. And as you might imagine, a zillion covers. At least pretty close. Art Germ. If you got any, here's the 1 in 100 Art Germ. Oop. Yeah. Art Germ is a great artist and everything, but sometimes his faces tend to look kind of similar. But, draw his ass off, though. No disrespect. Okay, well, I don't think I purchased this, and I don't think I will, but I'm glad it exists. There's my guy, Battle Beast. Battle Beast number 5. Battle Beast number 5. That's some good shit. New Gods 10. Miles Morales number 38. Volume, I don't know how many. Magic number 10. G.I. Joe number 11. I'm skipping a few. I always do. Exquisite Corpses number 5. That's always good maybe for a couple of good covers. I know some people out there are reading this. I know I am. It's meta. Say that again. It's murder on the dance floor as killers converge at the No Life concert. Ew. But can the sparks of young love between two incendiary psychopaths win out over bloodlust and bounties? Heads will roll as Eisner Award-winning multi-hyphenate Jordi Belair and red-hot artist Claire Rowe join James Tiny IV and Michael Walsh for the most terrifying meet cute of the year. Meet cute. Is that a thing? Still not into, don't know what the hell that is. Claire Rowe? Seen that name a lot lately. Ooh. TBA. So TBA, it looks like it could be Raza. So it doesn't say who it is. So I guess they have the cover, but they don't have the accreditation as to who it is. And I can't tell. Can't read the signature, so whatever. This is a David LaFuente, 1 in 25. Pretty cool, too. Yep, I'm definitely reading this. On the pull list. I'm off the clock. Y'all stay safe. Hey, you too, Larry. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, they were very forgettable. Very forgettable. All right, coming on down the list here. Batman Second Night. I really don't. I really hate to get second series only because there's just so many books on my list. I just, I don't want to take a chance on the series I don't like. I did love the first one. I don't know if I loved it. I did like it a lot. It's a 48-page, perfect bound, $7 book. With the same creative team. I think. Well, is it? Dan Jurgens is the writer, and Mike Perkins is the artist. Mike Spicer. Okay, this is the second series of this retro Batman from the old days when he actually carried a gun and threw people off buildings and stuff. Okay. The year is 1940. Most of the Western world is embroiled in a war against a fascist regime whose march across Europe shows no sign of defeat. With the specter of war looming, it's a time of fear and paranoia for those living in Gotham. It's only been a few months since the city was rescued from undead monsters by the masked vigilante known as the Batman. But a vicious killer has been on a murderous spree that's taken the city to its breaking point. Bodies are turning up in theatrically gruesome ways, all staged with the killer's calling card, a hangman's noose. While the Batman endeavors to solve the spate of murders, a young reporter from the Daily Star named Lois Lane arrives in Gotham. Meant to cover a movie premiere, it doesn't take long for Lane to find herself caught in the grips of a new villain in Gotham, one whose mystery of fear will plunge the city into chaos. Yeah, back in those days, a girl reporter was a big deal. That's why they always made she's a girl and she's a reporter. Go figure. That's crazy, huh? So this is the origin of Lois Lane in the Black Label universe here. It could be, and it's the giant size book, which people hate. I don't hate it, but people that don't want to buy big boxes don't like that. Just dismiss that on the strength of it being oversized alone. And this is Mark Aspinall, alternative cover. Ooh, wow, Lois Lane in Gotham City. What does Superman have to say about that? Soups. Batman trying to push up on your woman. And this is Fabrizio de Tomasio. Okay. Well, like I said, it was a really, really good series, the first one. I don't know if anybody out there actually read this. Yeah, love the Perkins art on Batman. Yeah. That's what makes me think I might want to get this one too. It was only, I think, maybe 3-issue series, so I think it's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it if you're not pulling 50 books like some of us are. All right, the seasons. Loving the seasons. Ghost Pepper is getting some love. It was on Tom's list this week. I mean, wow, Ghost Pepper. Huh? How'd that happen? But it was. I remember the first issue being good. I haven't read number 2 yet. I think I have pulled it, but I haven't read it yet. Marvel Zombies Red Band. I was this close to buying the Punisher Red Band today, and I thought, what are you doing? Put that book down. You don't want that. They're going to keep with these. They won't stop making those red bands until you start buying them. Boba Fett, black, white, and red. Okay, see what I'm saying? Got the red bands, the black, white, and red. We just keep making them, folks. We'll just keep making. I long for the days when there were like 24 books a month by one company, maybe 40 by another at tops. You get like God knows how many. and how many companies. I'm talking just DC and Marvel. I mean, you got like tons of books from everybody. All right, Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. I did like that. I mean, I think it was one of my what's good last week. The artwork was very good on that. A real quick look at that one. This is about that man kaiju hybrid walking around the dead zone that the Pacific Northwest has become. And it's Ethan Parker is writing it, Griffin Sheridan. Pablo Tanica is the artist, and some people had some things to say about some of the illustrations that totally went over my head. There was some illustrations of some people who were merchants, and they were, I guess, stereotypically drawn to look like Jewish characters. And someone said that he drew an Asian character, in a disrespectful way. I guess I was so just overcome by the coolness of his art. I just totally missed it. I didn't see that in issue number 1. But the story was pretty good and the art was amazing. So I did like that. So, back to the countdown. Ooh, Big Tracy's reached number 12 already. And here's a thing called No Man's Land. Looks interesting. From Image Comics. This is Simon Kudransky. Remember, he's done, I'm sure they'll list his accolades in here, Something Epic and Blood Commandments, both of which were very good series, and he does everything. He's an amazing artist. He writes, he colors, he does it all. He does it all. Diomede Islands. For 3 months a year, you can walk from the USA to Russia across an ice bridge, a frozen path known as the Ice Curtain. In 1963, when the body of a young woman is discovered on this icy no man's land, the already fragile relationship between the superpowers threatened to collapse. With nuclear tensions rising, an FBI agent and a KGB operative must solve the murder before the ice melts, that is, and war ignites. And this might be the thriller of the year. So yeah, it's Brian Bendis, who likes to dabble in his drawing. He draws. He's homaging. Who's he homaging there? Oh, those are just the inker, I guess. Okay, or the colorist. Yeah, yeah. Brian Bendis, many writers do. He dabbles in art. And Kudransky is another cover here. This is, I think, a movie. You can guess the name of that movie. You want a no prize? I sure can't. But it looks cool. That's all that matters. There's another one. Oh, this one he actually tell you. So this is the Hunt for Red October homage with the Sean Connery character replaced by this man here. The bridge is melting. Yeah. Oh no, I'm melting. All right. That might be a game day decision. Oh yeah, and Batman Day. Batman Day. I want to say it's this Saturday. I think. I saw that the books were at the shop, but you couldn't crack them out until actually until Batman Day actually happens. Yes. Yes. I have no chance. No one has any chance. Okay. Blood Letter, DuckTales. This is the thing I was looking for like a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. DCKO. This is the ash can. DC, KO. KO, DC. Pleased to meet you. DC's major 2025 event is here. Thank God. Scott Snyder and Javier Fernandez welcome you to the slugfest of the century. The heart of apocalypse has transformed Earth into a hellscape in preparation for the return of Darkseid. I knew he wouldn't stay dead. I mean, it's too big a character. This is the comic books here, folks. The end of the DC universe is here. Yeah, right. The Justice League's only chance to defeat Darkseid is to enter a deadly tournament, an epic and over-the-top battle royale that will surprise you. The world's greatest heroes fight to become the champion and to enter the ring against Darkseid. But here's the catch. The closer you get to the heart of apocalypse, the more it corrupts you, changes you into something dangerous. Which DC character has what it takes to make it to the end? Who is willing to do what it takes to win it all? To win it all, even if it means taking down their friends and family. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I see what you did there. That's great. All right. Joshua Williamson is co-writing with Scott Snyder, and Javier Fernandez is pulling the art job on here. And as you might imagine, there's lots of characters in here. I wouldn't be surprised if Red Hood wins this, even though he could outdo Superman and Green Lantern and everybody else. That would just be so perfect that a mortal guy could win this thing. There's nobody talking about this. Well, they got a blind bag. I think there's a blind bag. This is a foil variant. This is for the ash can. I think there's a blind bag for the number 1. So maybe I think I remember pre-ordering a blind bag for this. Yeah, think about blind bags. Yeah. Really? I know. Yeah. God bless. I mean, I care damn near. Really. This is just another event. I'm 100% that it's a full size fake. It could be a thin full size fake. So I think it's lower cover price. It's $1.99. So it's 100% one of those weak full size or half size, I should say. Full size thin is how you phrase it. Yeah. I mean, I fear I have become immune to DC and Marvel marketing. Yeah, that's a great thing to do. Yep, that's a great thing. I mean, that's one thing I'm getting much better at. I was trying to talk about the Batman #1 blind bag thing, which totally missed the point of the Battle Beast #1 blind bag. Battle Beast #1 blind bag, $3.99. That's why it flew off the shelves, and that #1 of Battle Beast is still sought after, even though it's only still cover price. Because you had a chance to actually win a book that was more than $3.99, a different cover, and a more valuable book, a more scarce book. With the Batman book, you only had a chance to get a foil cover. And foil covers for $10. I mean, it was a $10 blind bag, and every book you get is like a $10 book. So, yay. So basically I have a chance to maybe get a cover that I don't like, for $10. Whereas I could just pay $10 up front and get a cover that I like anyway, and they missed the whole fucking point of the blind bag thing. They screwed the pooch. It's just oh, yep. Hey, but stop me if I'm lying. That's totally it. I totally see why you are off with that, down with that shit too, or tired of that shit, I should say. Because everything leads to an event. It's all about the events, and the more you learn about this, the more you realize that you're just being marketed to. And the more I learn about the history of both Marvel and DC, they really don't respect us as customers. I mean, they really just kind of treat us like idiots. They kind of disrespect us. I mean, there are indie publishers out there who are in it for the love of the game. There's some who are just out there to make money. I mean, everybody's trying to make money. If you don't make money, you'll be out of business. but that can't be your only drive, you know? You gotta, like, treat your customers right and not insult their intelligence. Okay. This Batman #1, I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered that one too. That's the one like the Superman #1 that recently came out. Exact duplicate. Only thing missing is the, um, the cover price. Everything else, except for the barcode on the back, exactly the way it appeared back in 1938 when I think Batman #1 came out. 38, 39 maybe. This Tech 27 was 39. Superman was 38. Anyway, late 30s. Long time. Long time ago. Street Sharks. Hey, is that IDW? I thought it was Jeff again. Okay. The Jeff knockoff. All right, coming on down here. Oh, okay. Wolverine Revenge, Black, White, and Blood edition #3. Uh, The Last Day of H.P. Lovecraft. This was close to being in the penultimate book. Very close. Very, very close. From Boom Studios. In fact, there was a trailer for that, but I forgot to pull up. It was a crazy day today. It was a lot of stuff. We're wrangling our new cat and everything the last couple of days and a few other things. And Janet had to work today and I had to work. So some stuff just didn't get done. This is adapting the hit French graphic novel. Author Roman Romanwald. Hey, I'm not even going to try. And artist Jacob Rebelka. Jacob Rebelka, I know from the Vatican book that recently was came out, and I love the artwork. The really crazy looking artwork, like you see here, come together to give us the dreamlike story of the very last day of H.P. Lovecraft. See the final journey of a complex and tortured man, facing his choices, his writings, and his mistakes at the very last moment of his life. Designed as a strange Gothic cathedral, The Last Days of H.P. Lovecraft, this I say last day on the cover, is an extraordinary story that explores the end of a man and the beginning of a myth. Those two creators right there. And yes, please. Not a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, but I know this man lived a crazy life. He was a complex individual, allegedly an incredible racist, but come from an era when racist was like, oh yeah, he has brown eyes. It's just a typical thing. Yeah, me too. I mean, nonetheless, I am interested in the story about this individual because he was he he was a character. He was a character. Yes, Phil, and way to locus. It is. I mean, man, like Reanimator. Reanimator is the only thing I'm really familiar with by him. So I'm not really aficionado of his work, but I did like that story. It's not even the movie is not a real long movie. But it's dark. And Poe, yeah, Poe. I'm more into Poe, I think, than for sure I know more of Poe's work than I do of Lovecraft's work. The Telltale Heart to me was like my introduction to Poe. Like, oh, that is some heavy shit. Alan Moore, oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, Lovecraft done by Alan Moore, I can totally get into. What was this? Phil, I apologize for setting up a picnic on your lawn. Perhaps a New York style pizza and hibiscus tea would be a quirky and delightful combo. Well, that sounds good to me, especially if it's iced tea. Hey, Frog Brawler. Yeah, Lovecraft can be an overly verbose. Yes. The man loves his words. Loves his words. Stuff based on Lovecraft is easier. Like Lovecraft Country, which is a series. What was that on? It's still available. I'm just halfway through it. I mean, I really enjoy what I've seen of it so far, though. Lovecraft Country is very good. Nevermore. That's what the what is that? The monsters cuckoo clock used to always say. The raven comes out. Nevermore, nevermore. Rock. All right. Fun fact: the very first Alan Parsons Project album is all Poe tunes put to rock. Get the fuck out of here! Is that right? Wow! 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 Interesting. Yes, HBO. That's right. That's right. Frog Prowler. Yep. 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 Yeah. So I'm definitely pulling this. If I haven't already pre-ordered, I will definitely pick it up because because I just find it interesting. See, here's that Rebelka. This is a what? This is a Virgin variant. I don't think it's an open order even. I may have ordered this one if it's open order. I probably did. If this is not a incentive book, I absolutely did. Here are the incentives down here. Ben Steinbeck. Not creepy at all. Not at all creepy. And then there's John Pearson, 1 in 15. Yeah, so that other one is an open order. Yeah. From the mind of H.P. Lovecraft. And this last one here. Ooh, the cover F is 1 in 20. Suspiria, 20th anniversary. This is the Suspiria? Oh. Ooh. Suspiria. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's nightmare fuel. Your nightmares are running out of steam. Check this out. Coming on down the line, Chip's got a new thing here. Zdarsky, Comic News number 15. That's become a whole thing now. Good as dead. Good as MRF dead. The Emissary Bridge has always connected the citizens of Port Linden to hope and opportunity. But when one man shockingly sets himself on fire, self-immolation, the bridge now brings something else to the town: certain death. As the town's lead lawman, Sheriff David Calhoun, of the Algonquin J. Calhouns, will need to stay one step ahead of the forces looking to take his town apart. If he has any chance of bringing the truth to light, he will need to expose generations of secrets while outrunning death itself. Good luck with all of that. Maria Lapham. Is that David Lapham? Yeah. That's the David Lapham's wife, and there's David Lapham. They're co-writing this, and he is drawing and lettering it. D. Kniff, Kevin's friend from Connecticut. Yeah, good as dead. David Lapham and Maria Lapham. If I haven't gotten this, only one cover. Pass the price of comics. Pass. Okay. Should be a comma there. Pass. The price of comics is out of control. $7.99. 48 pages. 48 pages, $7.99. At Marvel, we call that Tuesday. Anyone have an insightful answer as to why this is $7.99 for a monthly? I'm pulling, so I don't want to hear whining. I want knowledge. Knowledge is king. I see Lapham, pull. See this? That's what I'm talking about, Milk Bones. Yeah, so that's it got mixed reviews here so far. I mean, you haven't even read a line of the book. But yeah, I mean, like some people hear Lapham and you hear two Laphams for the price of one. If that's what your cup of tea is, you should absolutely pull it. Don't come belly aching to me about the $7.99 price tag. You Americans are soft. All right, coming down the line here. Here we go. They Chose Violence number 4 is coming out next week. Bingo. Yeah, we'll pull in that. Absolute Batman number 1. This is the 8th printing, the J. Lee cover, Virgin cover. Now, if that's the way it comes, I will look for that. I have not pre-ordered it, but I don't think I have, at least. I will see if I can find that. Not a lot of vendors going to be pulling. I bet nobody out my way is going to be stocking the 8th printing. I'll probably get it online somewhere else. But I do like that Jay Lee cover. And the black and yellow, just like some about a yellow background. Am I the only one on this? The yellow background is, it just pulls me in. Space Case, you've been here, man. You're not late. And here's Phil. This is a good question. Marvel publishes a 124-page full-color comic every month and gives it away for free. It's called their catalog. How they justify their cover prices. Shh, don't tell nobody. you pulled their whole card. You peeped it. It's not about what it cost them. It's about what they can get for it. That's what a fucking capitalist thinks. What can I get for this? How could I bend my customers over the barrel and get the most money out of their pockets? Like hold them upside down by their freaking ankles and shake all the money out of their pockets. How can I do that? That's why. Same reason a dog licks his nuts, because he can. All right. Oh, another Expanse book. Marcus was a fan of that. Oh, look what time it's getting to be. I tell you, it's time for that penultimate book. And that book is coming up right this moment. Lawn picnic. Hashtag lawn picnic. The Penultimate. Yes, sir, ma'am. That is it. And this week, that book is from Ignition Press. This is the second week in a row. Ignition Press. I keep my eye on these folks. There's no trailer. Well, they get some trailers out there. It really impressed me then. But there's no trailers. But this book is called Voyeur, #1. And it is written by Leah Williams, art by David Baldion, and Eva de la Cruz is doing the coloring work on this. And the lettering is from And World Design. And it goes like this. As head of security at the upscale Thai resort, take two, Kingfisher. The Kingfisher. Oh, okay. Rook has access to absolutely everything. From his office, he can punch into any closed-circuit camera on the island and see what all the guests are up to. And trust us, he's seen it all, twice, or at least he thought. When Madeline arrives, she instantly captures Rook's attention, thinking of the other character, and she just as quickly catches on to his game. Madeline not only picks up on the fact that he's spying on her, but when she confronts him about his little hobby, she realizes he's not exactly who he says he is. She knows Rook is at the resort to rob it of all its valuable art, and Madeline wants in. But girl, she's a social climber. Reteaming writer Leah Williams and artist David Baldion, the pair behind DC's hit Power Girl series, for their first creator-owned comic book. Voyeur is great for fans of White Lotus, Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief, and sexy 1990s thrillers. It's got some good covers on this too. I mean, I don't know much about. I'm going to do some research into who this Ignition Press is. They're coming up with stuff. Who's behind Ignition Press? And here's speaking of Voyeurs, Emanuela Lupacino, and this near Sharon Stone-ish cover here. This is another, I think, a B cover. It's that Peeping Tom trying to get some upskirt action. And we got anything else? We got people practically having sex here. On the 1 and 5 by Yannick Paquette. As Madeline, my name is Rook. I mean Peeping Tom. And then there's I guess the herbal elegance review ash. Oh no, it's literally called an ass can. The herbal elegance review ass can variant. Let that sink in. All right. Okay. As long as I don't have to pay a premium for it. This is super rare or something like that. Okay. All right. A show of hands. Who's in? Who's in on this one? To a topless show. Oh, you don't want to look at my boobs. Oh no, you don't want to see that. That get me thrown off of YouTube. Hashtag upskirt action. Oh God, I could go into so many jokes about that. Pretend it's a beach. Yeah, there you go. It's about to get cold outside though. Oh, now you get to give me an OnlyFans account now. Yes. This gets. I remember my last job I had was a UPS store, and the guy that owned it he was a pretty conservative guy, but he had kind of a funny sense of humor. It was like this thing on the floor in the front of the store, like in the right in front of the counter. And that's where the gates go at night over the counter. And the customer was walking by, and she was saying, "What is this thing on the ground here?" And he told her, "That's the upskirt cam." She was not amused. Anybody that has the balls to say it to a customer, boy, you're pretty ballsy. That grass is smoking. Yeah, that's what you do with grass, baby. Sometimes you vape it, though. Only where it's legal, though. You do not advocate illegal drug use here on the Wednesday New Comic Book Day program. That would be bad, very bad. So, hey, I'm pulling this. I am pulling this, the voyeur action, to see what this Peeping Tom has in mind here. And hope some of y'all do too, because I feel like Ignition Press is coming up. It's coming up depending on how this murder podcast book, I'll get back to you when we come back from the break on that one, how that worked out. And that is your penultimate book. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. Reached the end. We got one more book to look at. Let's see. Transformers. That's going to be like the upteenth printing of that one. Decepticon sound chip foil variant. Blah, 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 blah. Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Tempted, but no. No. Cemetery Kids. Well, again, that was a good first series. The first series was good, I should say. The last one, there's one other one I want to. Pee Pee Poo Poo. Apparently, it's coming out next. Pee Pee Poo Poo number 100,000. Man, I tell you that Caroline Cash is making a lot of comic books. She's made 100,000 already. So I think she's just jumping around, kind of like the way Marvel does sometimes. So that's interesting. And the last one we want to take a look at here is called Flow. It's not about the character from Alice. you old heads know what I'm talking about here. It's Margaret. All right. Hey, buddy. Hey, I startled you. I'm sorry. I scared my cat. All right. Share this one instead. This is pretty gutsy here. I mean, this is probably going to scare away a bunch of the guys here. Oh, you're welcome, sir. Let's see. Where are we at? Flow. When blood begins to run down Dara Lund's leg at nature camp, she thought she was dying. Homeschooled by a protective dad after her mom's mysterious death, Dara wasn't told the facts of life. It's the curse, her bunkmate said, not revealing it was her period. But we can lift it if you do everything we say. So began their week of torment, making naive Dara do torturous tasks for their amusement. But now, 10 years later, as they embark on their careers, the three tormentors find themselves cursed. So they reunite to track down the likely source of vengeful Dara, which probably it is. and they'll pursue her to the bloody end. Like it's her fault. Y'all did her wrong, and now she's now you're mad at her. Now, guys, I totally understand. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Eddie's God knows. Eddie God knows. Yes, priceless. Yeah, and she became the star of that show, and I think the girl who played Alice was not happy about that at all. But I digress. I know, guys. Anything about the big M is just like off limits, and when that's like man kryptonite. You mentioned something like that, we just okay, say no more, say less. We out of here. Peace and love. Gone. You don't want to hear anything about that. But I think it's pretty clever that they maybe turn this in. If they were able to pull this off as a believable and relatable story for anyone, not just it's like an all female creative team here. Looks like Paula Sevenbergen, Claudia Balboni, Fabia Marquez, and Jody Troutman. Yeah, and cover artist is Aniki Yeah, so and it has a cover here also by Colleen Dern, a second a B. I think I may have ordered this cover. I think I like this one better. I'm just a sick individual. Yeah, so I'm down with this. I understand if a lot of people, it's and this is being a mainly a male dominated, hobby for the most part. I can get it. So a lot of people were probably just like, yeah, no, but I'm curious as how they can make this into a good book. That Phil, this is reminiscent of the book from Image called Man Eaters. Really? It sounds familiar. I don't think I read that one though. It's not a feeling. Yeah, I know, but it's part of life. Women turned into man-eating cats when on their period. Great covers. Oh wow, really? That's almost like the cat people. People turn into killer panthers until they have sex. That was the at least that was I think the 80s version. I'm not sure how they did the I think 1940s version. I'm sure they didn't have that theme back in those like those puritanical times. I'm all for any books that will bring in me too, man. Absolutely. And we can't we can't just talk about guy stuff all the time, What's up, TM? You been here all the time? Did I miss you? It's the 90s fault. Good to see you, sir. The spinoff of Hustler. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Good one. All right. Yes. TM knows I blame the. I think that applies to almost anything. You can you can blame the 90s for fill in the blank. And the 90s can just take the blame for that shit full circle. Wow, I'm big. Tom Hanks. Oh, little Orson is sleeping over here. He's like all over me, get in my lap and everything. But he's just so chilling out in his new digs. Such a cute guy. All right, so that's it. And I what can I say other than it's going to be a couple of weeks, probably the first of October. Hopefully, unless something else happens, hopefully that's when we'll be back, and we will be back with probably a co-host, rotating co-host thing going on, and maybe a new format, maybe not, maybe just a change and just a slight change to the existing format, because I don't really change it too much, but I just want to do something a little different. So we'll figure it out then. So, as I always say, I appreciate all you folks who stopped by and the folks who are watching on the replay. Thank you so much for watching on the replay. And, man, we can't wait to meet up again. Until we meet again, I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Read your comic books. And if God willing and the creek don't rise, I will be back and we'll have a co-host and we'll see what happens with that. So until next time, everybody, peace and love. Peace and love. Good night. Hey, Biggie Shaq. See you later. Last man. Hey.
We love you, Denver! City by the Bay! John Denver!
Is a fire really necessary?
Ask them.